History 101, Lecture 15, Second Great Awakening. This one we want to talk about the effects of the Second Great Awakening, or the significance of the Second Great Awakening. Number one, big winners. Remember, in the First Great Awakening, the big winners were the Baptists, right? Second Great Awakening, the big winners are Methodists. The Methodist Church is going to become the largest Protestant denomination by 1850 with 1 million members. Circuit riders, and I kind of mentioned this before, circuit riders go out onto the frontier, town to town, you start developing a following. People are like, well, I guess I'm Methodist. It's the preacher I see all the time. Prominence of Second Great Awakening churches. Go look at the top 20 denominations in the United States. Most of them will be more than half to 3/4. More than half will be Second Great Awakening churches, or churches that come out of the Second Great Awakening theology. Develop some moral and religious emphasis to reform, such as anti-slavery. And we talked about this before in another video. These Second Great Awakening churches ministers really developed this idea of reform. American society does need to change, right? American society doesn't worship Christ appropriately or correctly. American society, isn't correct in some way. And so it gives a moral religious argument, not just to slavery, but to all those reform movements of the era. And some 20th century descendants of Second Great Awakening churches. You've heard of Pentecostal churches, holiness churches. Modern day evangelical Christians have some of their descent from these Second Great Awakening churches. There have been evangelical Christians, though, going all the way back to the Reformation. But for American evangelical churches, you really see a strong connection to the Second Great Awakening era. Latter-day Saint Mormon, there's all kinds of Mormon splinter groups. Missouri and modern-day polygamist groups out west. And so today you see the religious landscape littered with kind of the remnants and descendants of these Second Great Awakening churches. A lot of American Christianity today stems from the Second Great Awakening. The Calvinism is modified. The free will is emphasized to some extent. The Second Great Awakening, second coming. You guys heard of the ideas like the rapture that developed in the late 19th and early 20th century. This idea that we're living in the end times or the last days. Christ is going to come soon, and so you see a lot of this stemming from the Second Great Awakening. A lot of American religious culture is heavily influenced and can be traced to specifically the Second Great Awakening era.